throw his stick on the table and say, you know what? There's certain times where we're going to do it my way, regardless of what you think, because it does work. Because all three of their games they've lost, all have come in. The Eagles game, he had 444 yards and like 3 or 4 touchdowns, lost. Chargers game, they couldn't do crap, and they were throwing shotgun right off the game. Same thing here. They go away from the run. So there's the other counter argument too. Well, I gave you 3 chances. You're doing it your way has gotten us our 3 losses. Here's my stick on the table. You can't unzip your pants, son. Gotta put yours away. This is my show now. I think at this point, if I'm LaFleur, it's time to and you know what? If he does that, I think it even more gains him respect in the rest of the locker room.
Update on Brian Bulaga.
No. Ooh. Hold on. 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 Hold
on. Breaking news.
Go ahead.
Brian Bulaga avoided a major injury, and he is only week to week right now and could eventually be day-to-day soon, rather than having a major injury to his repaired ACL. But he is only the week to week right now, but could be day-to-day very soon. It's only an MCL tweak. That was from Rob Domosky.
Well, that's good. My wife said she's going to bed 3 times, but she keeps texting me, and now she's texting me Facebook articles that have headlines already come out, backing up her take she texted me earlier that I read. And then keep saying, like I said, okay, I'm done. You've said you're done 3 times. I know you're apparently listening on your phone, lady. Go to bed.
So there's one guy I saw get pretty turned around and burnt tonight. If I know you didn't want to focus on the defense, but there's one guy that I'm really having trouble watching lately. Kevin King is giving up some plays lately.
Oh, God, he's soft as butter on a freaking warm summer day, man. He's had some good plays, but those were against offenses that were not very good. And again, look, we have ideas and stuff, and sometimes you have to go back, rewatch tape, then look at stats, look at the advanced stats, make sure the stats aren't like lying to you, because the tape at the end of the day is the truth. It's whether or not the stats will back up what the tape says. If the stats tell you that, if the tape tells you it's bad, the stats tell you it's good, or the tape tells you it's good and the stats tell you it's bad, I will always believe the tape. Just to be clear here. But I don't mind looking at stats. He's not well. George he doesn't Kittle, do well against upper echelon offenses and receivers.
George Kittle turned him around with ease.
That was a blown George Kittle, coverage. Period. His responsibility. He was supposed to be on. He was supposed to be in a depth and play a coverage where even if Kittle crosses his face, he's able to pick him up and run with him and cut him off from being able to, because there's no help behind him. He completely screwed up his coverage responsibilities because there's no help behind him.
But still, just the fact that he still got burned that bad. That's the problem. Is he still got turned around by a guy? Hold on. He still got burned by a guy with a bone bruise in his knee and a broken bone in his left ankle. That's the problem I have.
I'm mad at Dylan. He told me to bench him, and I did. For Hollister, who had a bad game. I lost my fantasy matchup tonight. I got my ass whooped. I think Rodgers had like -7 points or something.
Oh, yeah, I know, and I won. So I think next week we face off before playoff spot. It doesn't
matter. I'm out of the playoffs, dude. And guess what I'm going to do? If I lose the playoffs, I'm cutting everybody.
I mean,
if I'm not in the championship bracket, I'm cutting everybody. They'll all be free agents. Yep, I lost 92 to 97.2. He's got 1 to play. Don't got a chance. And I don't stand a chance against your roster next week, not with the way my guys have been playing, so.
Well, like I said, I'm going to look at the glass half full instead of half empty. 8-3 facing the Giants next week. And the Giants, the way I just saw play in Chicago today,
And I had 40 points
feeling a
on
little
my
bit better.
bench. Can't believe this shit. More than that, 45. It's terrible.
You know if Mr. Javi's going to make his appearance or not?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything back from him yet. I should text him, huh? Let's take a little break and we'll find out what's going on with Javi since we've been on air for about 35 minutes. Take a break. We'll be right back. And if you haven't had enough of our banter tonight, you want to visit NFL Addictions on Facebook.com for all of your NFL banter and chatter. It's not a trash talk site, so keep it clean and keep it cordial. That's NFL Addictions on Facebook.com. And if you still got an itch to scratch when you're done with that, you want to visit Raz Addictions on Facebook.com for their version of the raffle for all kinds of cool prizes, even a chance at winning some cash. You buy a $10 raffle ticket for a chance at winning $100. That's a chance at making 10 times your money. It don't get any better than that. That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com for a chance at all kinds of cool prizes. Tell them what you've won, Dave.
I've won everything from tailgating barbecue sets. That I have a Packers one that I won, folks, for $400. I put $40 down on the spot. I won it, and it was out of 20 spots. It's really worth it. I've also won helmets that are signed. I've won banners that are signed. I've won memorabilia rings. I've won footballs that are signed and other Packers knickknacks because that's my team. But go ahead and check them out. Cheap, affordable prices for certified, authentic stuff.
That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com. Go there, play, and win. And as always, you can follow us on Twitter at First and Goal Pod, myself at UPJ33, Dave is at Steak and Cheese, and the fantasy wonder himself, Dylan, at Dylan Busby1. Email us at firstandgoalpodcast@yahoo.com with all your football and Packer questions and comments, and you just might find yourself making the show live. That's firstandgoalpodcast@yahoo.com. All right, we are back. All right, here, Dave. We got Javi coming in about 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let's see here what we got going on. Da-da.
Well, division, we saw Minnesota get a bye. Chicago beat Giants. Detroit lost to the Redskins. You know what? It always cheers me up. Even if the
What?
Packers lose, and I see the Lions just drop loss to a team who's 1-9. Like, come on. Like, I was just on Twitter, and then Lions fans were trying to talk crap to some of the Packers reporters, and I'm like, no, guys lost to the Redskins, dude. Like, come on now. Trash.
All right, let's see what we got. All right, here we go. Let's hit positives for the offense. This should be short and sweet, man. Well, we're just trying to kill some time, and we got a rundown here. I forgot about it. We were just kind of freelancing it because, I know, we were kind of down or whatever. But, yeah, here we go. Positives for the offense.
One, I'm going to start off with this. Elton Jenkins was probably the best player on the offense tonight.
Yeah.
Didn't hear his name called. Solid in pass blocking. Never see him get bull rushed. It was always Bach or Bulaga or Billy Turner or, I'm sorry, Lindsley got shucked all night long by DJ Jones. That was horrible. But yeah, Elton Jenkins was probably the most solid wide receiver. I will give credit to Graham.
Offensive
He was
lineman,
still-
you mean?
Huh?
Offensive lineman, you mean?
I told you I'm that tired.
Oh, geez.
Tight end Jimmy Graham I'll give a positive to him. Go back and look at it. He made the catch. That big catch that went down the 20-yard line. He made the catch. Yeah, LaFleur should have challenged it, but it shouldn't come down to challenges. I'm sorry, these are professional referees. They should be making these calls on the field. But we have to rely on challenges now, apparently. So I'm going to give that to Graham. He at least was trying his butt off. Jamal Williams never seems to quit, man. Doesn't matter if it's 45-0, 45-45. The dude is always trying his hardest. That's my positives.
Positives. They scored points. They scored points. Okay, let's move on. Because there wasn't much to be positive about. Like, yeah, Elton Jenkins was the best offensive lineman, but he gave up a lot of pressure himself tonight. That unit as a whole, other than probably 6-7 plays, they were getting their butts pounded in on run and pass plays. Not impressive showing from them, regardless. And again, there's an issue here with the depth of the most important positions. There's a lot easier to plug and play guards because you can help them. But when you have a tackle that on multiple occasions, instead of kicking out and worrying about the edge rusher, is worrying about chipping and helping the right guard before, and then he's late to get his hands on the freaking edge rusher that's way more important than the interior offensive lineman that his guard can handle one-on-one or has a center to help with, is ridiculous. Like, yeah, there's not a lot of
Couldn't come at a worse time for Cole Madison to get injured. Because if he was there, he would have come in. Billy Turner could have kicked out to right tackle. And I feel like it would have been a lot more solid than Alex Wright.
Same thing, and I hate to say this, but even at this point, Lane Taylor being available to come in and do that same thing, play right guard.
Taylor, Lucas Patrick was available. Why didn't we put him in there? If Light was getting beat that bad, Lucas Patrick was still there.
Because I think here's what it is, bud. It's that, well, you know what? No, we're getting off trail here. Let's go positives for the defense, which is a lot easier to do. Because there actually was quite a few positives for the defense.
Preston Zadarius Smith getting 2 sacks between them. Zadarius reached 10 sacks. Kenny Clark is one of my guys. He was a quiet, very well-oiled player tonight. He showed a lot more flashes of what he looked like last year and last week especially. But there's one guy I didn't see give up a lot, and it was Jair. Jair did not give up the huge chunk plays like I was seeing Kane do all night.
No, Jair was, I can agree with that. You didn't hear his name called. No penalties, no big plays.
It was Tremont and King. They gave up the 2 big plays. 2 touchdown passes that were like 40-plus yards.
Even Savage had some miscues when he was supposed to.
He's a rookie. It's expected. Right. King is a 3rd-year vet. Tremont's a, 13-year vet? These guys should know that.
I told you with Javi on Friday night, I can run faster than Tramon Williams. At some point, his athleticism is going to bite him in the ass in games against teams that have speed at the wide receiver position. He cannot keep up with Deebo Samuel trying to play man coverage when he goes in motion. He's going to be open.
So how soon do you think they start trying to work guys in like Kadar Hallman, who was really good in the camp, really good in preseason? Just saying. Or hell, put Josh Jackson in freaking nickel corner. Why not?
Because here's the problem. I think that they're just too stubborn. Because if